Finally, tonight we remember more wonderful people who died from the coronavirus. Robin Greenfield, who was 66 years old, her husband and son described her as a force of nature. She rose through the ranks of the New York City Education Department, working tirelessly to help hundreds and hundreds of children over more than 3 decades. Mervyn Alfredo Maxwell Kennedy Sr. was 78 years old, also from New York. He was born in Costa Rica, and like so many, moved to the United States to continue federal life. He told the past son, one after strong work ethic, nothing to the 6 children, 14 grandchildren, 8 great-granddaughters. May the message is, and may the one our viewers back to our national market will put links the following at Twitter and Instagram, Apple, Twitter, Round Twitter Show, Axie and Cipro, Aaron Bernard, Scott.
Up on next, breaking news. President Trump says he's been taking hydroxychloroquine, the same drug the FDA had warned against. Why? Trump says a breakthrough, a vaccine trial showing early promise. This coronavirus deaths in the United States have 90,000. Doctor and a patient involved in that vaccine study out front. And the study says closing down restaurants helps stop the spread of coronavirus. Shutting down schools, not as much. Let's tell us about the path forward. And good evening. At Outline tonight, the breaking news. We start with revelations from the president. Trump announcing he's keeping the drug he's touted time and time again, hydroxychloroquine, to prevent the coronavirus. Now, President Trump says he doesn't have the virus, he's keeping the drug in caution. To be clear, there is no scientific showing that formulary of drug to prevent coronavirus.
A lot of things that come out about that.
Hi, Dale. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I'm tired.
So I want you to talk about what you've been hearing with the local businesses.
Oh, trust and believe. I always have a lot to talk about.
Okay, so I want you to elaborate on that. I've been walking around a lot to see what's going on overall. So it would be good to hear from you about that.
It's unfortunate that I can't walk around and be on Flatbush Avenue, and
I've been doing a lot of walking in the community all over.
I can't. I got sick already.
Okay.
So I came home March 20th.
Uh-huh.
I've been home since March 20th. You froze.
Okay.
You were frozen. I'm sorry.
Huh?
You were frozen.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Well, nice to see you.
Here, nice to see familiar faces.
Yes. Tiffany, right? Tiffany, yeah. Nice to see you. I guess we'll wait a little for folks to join. So Tiffany Dale Charles is from Impact Brooklyn.
Oh, okay. Impact in low. You said Impact Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah, she presented to us at one of our meetings. I believe late last year, Dale.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's the director of economic development and
leasing.
So she works a lot with all these businesses in the community.
But I specialize working with the Parkside Empire Flatbush Avenue Merchants Association.
Right. And
when you see that street fair,
yeah,
on the avenue, yeah, that's all me.
Yeah. So she has a wealth of information to share.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
What do you do?
So I to New York. I've been gone since February. I guess I got back last Sunday. So I'm bi-coastal. I'm a wine specialist and I have a beverage company in California. So finally back home because we had our initial launch out there in NorCal, and now I'm back in in touch through all of the local media channels. But when you're home, you kind of feel it and you see it all around you. So here I educate in wine. I'm a B2B salesperson.
We're in California.
So I'm in San Francisco.
Okay. My brother lives in California. I'm out there every year. He's up. All I know, he's up in the Hemet. You know where Hemet is?
Outside of Sacramento, a little further
Step away from it.
northeast.
I'm not good with that. All I know is Hemet, and all I know it takes about maybe almost 2 hours to drive from the airport from Ontario.
Got it.
He's up in,
Okay.
he's in the mountain. He's where all the wineries are, though. That's why I was asking.
I'm like, oh, okay, I see. So Valley area. That's Riverside. Okay, I know where you are now. No, I've never been to Hemet.
They have nothing but wineries where on the drive to his house is you pass wineries all day.
Yeah, I've never been to Hemet. That is on the map right now from like, I'm thinking Santa Rosa, of course, Napa, Maine, or Sonoma. Interesting.
Yeah, he has like 26 acres out there.
Very cool.
Robert is on. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
So,
Hello, how are you?
how are you?
I'm okay, can't complain. Still doing a lot of work, never stops.
Yeah, I say working from home is a different challenge.
Actually, yeah, I work from 3 different offices, so it's okay for me. It's all right.
Hi, Robert.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm hanging in there. What can I say?
Good to see you.
Yes, hanging in there.
Very good.
Oh, that's why. So Hemet is actually further south of Los Angeles. That's where I'm like, oh, okay. So you're in the Central Valley. So those are the wineries. Got it. I'm 8 hours north from where Hemet is. It's not in the Bay Area. You're down in LA. That's where I'm like, I never heard of Hemet. Yeah. So you're sent the wines that you're
He's actually far from LA because he already said to me he would never pick me up from the LAX. I have to come through Ontario because I would never get to his house. It's like it's
Got it.
like
Right.
an hour and a half to 2 hours from Ontario's airport. LAX is
Got it.
like 5 hours.
Gotcha. Yeah, I see you here. Oh, okay. Yeah. Definitely in a beautiful, beautiful park. Joshua Tree National Park is down there. The Moab National Reserve is maybe probably 5 hours from where you are. But that's I don't venture south as much. I'm not a Southern California girl. but very, very cool. That's we got some California folk on the call.
Hello,
Hi, who's there?
this is Bishop.
Hi, Bishop. How are you? Good to hear you. Good to see you. I didn't see you yet.
Hi.
It's good to see you.
You
Good to
can't
see you.
you can't see me
Why not?
but you
Good to
can-
see you.
because you can't. You just have to hear me.
Okay. So we have Dale Charles on here. Dale Charles from Impact Brooklyn. You remember when she did the presentation for us on the local businesses and the
Yes,
local,
yes.
right? We have Robert on here, and Tiffany Yard is on here as well. I
Okay.
see some other folks on the phone calling in, but I don't know who they are, so I can't elaborate much on that. But it's always good to see people joining the meeting and being a part of what's going on, because we're all in it together. And hopefully we will come out in a better way sooner than later.
Yes,
Yep.
and you know, on my side, because it's the school, we have
Yes,
lost so many grandparents.
I know.
We lost a lot of, it's unbelievable. We've lost several of our grandparents, and we have several parents on the front line that are positive. So it's really rough for us over here.
Right. Oh,
Really rough.
it's sad all over, sad all around.
Yeah, we have one student, one 6-year-old
Hmm.
that became infected.
Oh, boy.
So it has been a rough 2 months,
Hmm.
2.5 months for us. It has been really rough.
Oh, boy.
We have buried so many people. It's not. Uh, it's almost unbelievable.
Okay.
It's unbelievable.
So we're gonna give the
Um,
give the meeting another 5 minutes, then, Reverend.
okay.
I'm gonna ask you to start the meeting with a word at 7:15.
Okay. No problem.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
I think Khalid is on there now.
Hey Debbie, hi. Sorry about that.
How are you? I just saw you, and I said I think Khalid is on there now.
Yes, it's me.
So
Yeah, good night. Good night too. Hello.
we have a few people on. I said we'd get started at 7:15.
Got it.
Give people a few more minutes to join.
You know, Debbie, the time is. You know how we always think of time as something that we don't have much of.
I know.
You know,
Very true.
and now
Hmm.
what we're seeing, even with our parents,
Yes.
being at home doesn't mean I have time.
I know.
It just means that time has emerged as a totally different concept.
Yes, I agree with you.
It's not measured by minutes and hours and seconds anymore. It's
Right.
by events.
Well, that's it. That is true.
It's by events.
Hello. Good night. Hope everybody's well.
Hi, how are you?
I'm
Who
all right. How you doing? Huh?
we graced with on that voice?
Oh, this is Greg. G. Clark. What's up? How you doing, Debbie?
Nice to hear you.
Nice to hear you too. How you been?
I'm well, trying to, keep moving one day at a time.
All right.
We have Robert on here.
But everything is good with you though, right?
Yes. How about you?
Okay, good. Yeah, can't complain. Everything's cool.
Good. We have
7:15.
we have the
7:15.
Sylvita on here as well.
Cool. Good night to everybody. Hope everybody is good.
Everybody's good. I'm 7:15, Deb. I'm going to pray.
So thank you all for joining this evening. It's nice to hear and see everyone. And as we open the meeting, 7:15 now, I'm going to ask Reverend Sylvetta to open the meeting with a word. So if we can just, when you're ready.
Yes.
Thank you.
Our ever wise, true, and living God, creator of both heaven and our universe. We extend our gratitude to you for having kept us through all these changing scenes of our lives, to be here, to communicate, to touch each other with greetings, and to commemorate the fact that we are yet alive. We thank you, eternal God, and we ask you that as we're going through this time of devastation and uncertainty, that your mighty hands will continue to hold us firm, make us strong, deliver us from our fears, and let us, eternal Father, Mother God, understand that you are our only protector. Watch over our homes and our families, our communities and our nation, over the entire world that is so devastated right now, eternal God. We don't know where to go, but we know one thing is sure, is that you, Almighty God, you are in charge. And all at some point will be well. We pray for those that are on the front line, the doctors and the nurses, the anesthesiologists, the police officers, and the firefighters. We pray for them and their families. We thank you for the ultimate sacrifice that they make every day to leave their home so other homes can be saved. We pray for those that have lost their loved ones and were not even able to say their final goodbye. But eternal God, because of the promise that you gave to us, that even when we are absent from the body, we are present with you, O God, somewhere beyond the clouds. We are thanking you, eternal God. Just thanking you for this moment. And we're asking you to show us, why are we still here? What's our purpose? For out of 25,000 in New York City and over 83,000 in New York State, we are yet alive. What is our purpose? Reveal unto us by day and by night, that we will walk carefully, do what you want us to do, to fulfill the promise that you have called us for, our mission and our purpose. Bless Debbie tonight. Bless all that we'll do on the behalf of the community. And when we come to this end, may you bless us and continue to be with us until we meet again through the power of Yeshua the Messiah, Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for that word.
Amen.
Much.
God bless.
Thank you. Okay, so as we open our meeting with such a blessed word from the Reverend, we can start now by doing some introductions. I am Debbie Timothy, the chair of the Economic Development Committee at CB9. Tiffany, you want to?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everybody. I am a longtime resident of the Community Board 9 area. I've been here for over 14 years. Currently, I'm a wine specialist here in New York, also B2B salesperson with a beverage company in California. As I mentioned earlier, just getting back on Sunday. Haven't been in the New York area since February, so I'm just getting reacclimated to the space and just feeling the weight of the city and looking forward to being of service to everyone on this call and the community at large.
Thank you. Reverend?
Yes, Gonzalez.
Yes, you can go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone.
Yes, this is Bishop Gonzalez, and I'm a member of CB9.
Okay. Dale, you can go ahead.
I am Dale Charles, the Director of Economic Development and Commercial Leasing at Impact Brooklyn, and I support the businesses on Parkside Empire, Flatbush Avenue for the last 6 years, but I support all the businesses of Brooklyn.
That is true. Robert?
Robert Mitchell, board member, also chairman and CEO of Soundboot Inc., a television production company. I work alongside with other major studios, and also a silent partner in 5 different businesses. So, please forgive me, but I'm happy to be here tonight. Happy to be alive.
Oh,
I lost my sister.
oh, I'm sorry.
Not to the virus, but other illness that she has. But I'm still recuperating, and I'm back. So I just trust God in the process.
Thank you.
Please accept our condolences.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
There's a caller, user number 2. Can you introduce yourself, please? What is that number, Khalid? 347 something?
I'm seeing 347-295.
That's me. That's Robert Mitchell. I'll be on the phone.
Okay, all right. So you're coming in both different calls. Got it. Okay, so then you can do, let's see, user number 3, 718-715.
Oh, this is Greg Clark. How's everybody doing? Yeah, been on the community economics committee, I don't know, probably 7 years now. Doing that, lived in the community for about 30-something years, pretty much all my life. Went to school and actually opened a business and opened a not-for-profit. And I've been working with the community board and the community for over a series of years. So I hope everybody is safe again. I hope everybody is well.
Khalid, I see someone, is that a 91? It was a 917 number?
917476. That might be
That's me.
Gonzalez, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe that's Bishop. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I think that's it.
Yes.
Okay. So now that we have done introductions, pretty much the agenda is a roundtable, discussion. However, since we have Dale here and with all what's going on with small business in our community, I'll allow her to go ahead and speak about, what she's been, dealing with on a daily basis, so that we can get a sense. I've been walking around in the community just to get a sense as to what I observe and trying to talk to people. So I don't know what you guys been up to, but I guess we can talk about that, a little later on. So I'm gonna allow Dale to speak to us about that.
So what you see is not what you get.
Okay.
So what's behind the doors or what's not behind the doors, the people, you have people that, I've been trying to get people to sign up for the PPP.
Oh, boy.
You have some people that feel they're not qualified. So if I don't get a conversation with them, because I'm not on the avenue, if they don't respond to my emails, then they find out a different way because I'll help someone and that one will tell them, hey, they got theirs. So it's like a chain reaction. But I just wish that I had hands on the ground to be able to talk to those who are not answering, because they're sitting and they're waiting and the money will run out the second time and they won't get. And they need the money, even how little it is, even though it's only employee money, it's still something that can help them go forward. Or it could be a loan at a 1% interest that can help them as a business owner. But with that said, I worked with, I think I told you in the last conversation that I have attorneys that I've been working with for the past 20 years. And I said, what we're going to see after COVID is over is a lot of legal issues for these small businesses. We're going to lose half of them or not more. And before we even get to that state, why don't we do something and come together to be able to be a team? So we created the Small Business Legal Relief Alliance. We have over 18 law firms. The difference between law firms and one attorney is that I have thousands of attorneys now on hand to do pro bono work for all of my businesses in Brooklyn. So we're on the SBS website with our Relief Alliance. We are on Brooklyn Chambers website with our Relief Alliance. I have been working, right now I've worked with over 80 clients in 2 weeks, and I'm just one.
Mhm.
So the legal work that's still that is to be done going forward, these businesses need assistance. They just don't know how much assistance they need because they don't know what if. But they don't know what's coming the next day. They don't know if they're going to have funds to carry them. Everybody's waiting and thinking the government is just going to come and throw some money on top of them. But if they ain't seen it in the last 2 months, you're not going to see much money coming in other than the PPP. And it's hopefully that I'm wrong and hopefully that changes. I wish they did the PPP the way they did the $1,200 to residents, that they didn't ask no questions and just drop money in their account so that they can, open up and be in a better place. But making it where it's for employees when the city is already paying unemployment, there's no reason why they should be doing this PPP for employees payments because most of them can't work right now.
Right.
A lot of them are not because they're getting more money from unemployment.
Mhm.
So I've been doing educational webinars on everything PPP, and I have to do it that way because when they show up to the webinar and they see what other people are saying and seeing what it's worth, they wind up applying. If I can get 10 people to apply in a week, I've done a lot because people are not applying because of what happened with the first round of the PPP.
So is there anything that we can do to help in any way?
Other than putting out notices and making sure they know that they need to reach out to it's called the SBLRA. I didn't get to print it out, but I don't know if you can see it. I don't think you can see that.
Send it to
But I'll
CBS.
send it to you. But as long as you can get this out to them, to let them know that there's help out there, and it's not just me, I have you don't see my people, but I have a whole lot of people behind me to support them. So, and I have all the organizations, whether it's city, federal, that's helping to make sure that we get them through. And we're not taking them to the big banks, we're taking them to the smaller banks, the CDFIs. We have a CDFI that's actually working directly with us. So anytime I get a client, I send them right through to them and they get taken care of. I mean, I give you an example. I had a business owner that had 5 businesses. He said he's not applying for anything. He had a tax evasion. He's done. The city is not going to help him. And I talked him into filling out the application. He filled out 5 applications for the PPP and 5 applications for the LDIT, and he got all 10 applications. And he got all of his money.
Very
All of his
good.
workers are back in work. That's just one story out of how many that I've assisted in the past 2 or 3 weeks that have gotten their money already. And it's because I moved them from a Chase, I moved them from a TD Bank, I moved them from the big banks that wasn't giving them receipts.
Very good. Yeah. Wow.
What are some of the criteria that they're looking for?
Believe it or not, the criterias have changed since day one. It's now, I mean, if you have an employee, if you have 10 employees, you qualify. If you have one employee or you're self-employed, you qualify.
Mhm.
If you have no employees, that's when you fall into the slump of no assistance. Because if you have no employees, there's no way that you can qualify for the PPP.
Right.
But there are other loans that I don't want to send somebody to a loan product, but if you have nothing and you're looking to stay afloat, you have to get something to cushion yourself. So you have to go for one of the loans.
What you're offering is a grant, not a loan.
So they call it a loan because until the loan is forgivable, it's still a loan. They have to follow the rules and guidelines of the loan. And the rules and guidelines are not as difficult as people are making it. The rules and guidelines is that you spend 75% of that loan as employees' fees. It's forgivable. 25% of it is for rent and utilities. That's the simplistic of it. That is a little, depending on the business, it can switch and change, but that's the simplistic of the PPP. 75%, 25. And as long as you follow that rule, it's forgivable.
And is there a deadline for anybody to apply? Except we,
When the money runs out.
It runs out, that's right.
And I'm fighting for every dollar. And I think Brooklyn people, Flatbush Avenue, should get all of that money. But I need them to respond. I can't do it for them. I need them to respond. And I've gotten a lot of them on Flatbush that was not responding, but then they were answering to the email. I put all the links in the email and just kept sending. So finally, they've been linking. And now when I call them and they tell me they got the PPP, I know where they got it from.
The reason why I asked the question is because, I know that there's supposed to be another stimulus package coming out whenever Trump approves it, or he's not going to approve it, for small businesses. And I just wanted to find out, is there a deadline when they have to apply before that deadline, and how much money is left in the bank to support?
There's still money to be gotten because this second round, they didn't allow the big businesses to get it. They cut people off on getting as much money as they got the first round. So like one employee can't get more than $15,385 for the 8 weeks. So they capped the amount of money you can get. When they did the first round, there was no cap.
So how much of that money is already used up based on what the analysis are?
I usually check that on Wednesday. I didn't check that yet because it's changed since the last time I looked at it. So I don't want to give you false. No, I know it's in the billions, but how much? There's still money though. I know that for sure.
Billions or millions?
No, billions.
Okay. That was over a long time soon. Okay, gotcha. All right. Beautiful.
But I say get the word out to anyone that you know that own a business. Just give them my email, my cell phone. I don't care which one. When I send you all of the document, it has everything on there for you to be able to reach out.
So,
I'd be interested in it.
okay, so maybe you can get the information to Khalid. Khalid, when are you going to your office? Maybe you can make some copies.
Or scan it.
Copies
Copies
for
send an email.
individually, Debbie?
Distribute. I mean, in my walks, I mean, I can just.
Oh, I mean, okay, all right. So if you send me the if you send me the file, definitely I can have some copies for people. Yes.
I'll send it to you shortly.
Okay.
So I just wanted to ask one question. Is that just for the 2 months money that they're still applying for, or there's an extension?
No, there's no extension. It's the 2 months money. It's the day that the money comes into your account is when it starts. And you don't have to pay it back for 6 months. If you don't get it forgivable, then you have 6 months to start payment. You don't have to start payment for 6 months after the day you get it in your account. But if it's a forgivable loan, you have to spend it from the day they put it in your account to the end of the 8 weeks, 56 days.
Okay, thank you. I have one more question. The loan for the 1% loan, is there a cap on that in terms of how much you can borrow?
It's what they give you towards the payroll protection. And if you decide not to use it for that, then you can use it for whatever your needs are.
Okay.
Then that's when it becomes that 1% loan that you have to pay back. but you only get as much as you have as employees. So if you only have one employee, you're gonna get less than most people. You're gonna get like, I don't know if it's 15,000, but if they only allowing you up to 15,385, I think the number is for each employee, you're not gonna get more than 15,000.
And quickly, I know, Khalid, before you ask the question, what's your email again? I know Khalid's going to get that information, but what's your email?
The district office email is, I'll actually type it in the chat for everybody, but for a phone, it's BK.
I can't hear it again. It cut off for a second.
Sorry, so for the district office email, that's BK.
Oh, no, not the district office. Not the district office, to get the small business loans and to give out that information to people so they can get it.
I'm gonna send the email that they're gonna send to is S as in small, is SBLRA for Small Business Legal Relief Alliance, and then .org. I'm sorry, at Impact Brooklyn.
Okay,
Hold on, I got you.
Let me try to get a chat
So
and type it in there.
Just to repeat that, because I'm on the phone, SBLRA at impactbrooklyn.org, right?
Impact with 2 C's, BK.org.
Khalid, while you're working on that, I'm going to acknowledge Kim. Kim, thank you for joining us. I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself.
Hi guys, so I'm jumping in. I actually was listening to the youth committee, so they've just finished, so I jumped on. My name is Kim Robinson. I'm with Council Member Alika and Priest Samuel.
So we have Dale Charles from Impact Brooklyn, who just gave us a presentation on, and she's the director of the economic development and leasing over there. So she just gave us, a presentation on, the businesses, local businesses in the community and how outreach to them to try and get some of the money that's out there for them. So we need more outreach in terms of them responding, because she don't feel as though that they're responding like they should. There's a lot of money out there and she wants to make sure that Brooklyn gets all of it if we can.
Well said.
Okay, so Khalid, so Dale, do you have anything else that you want to add to that, or?
No, I mean, that's been my life for the last 2 months, is making sure everybody's applying and making sure that making sure landlords are not trying to evict them, because landlords are still trying to do illegal work behind the scenes when nobody's looking. So we have attorneys for them, and we have lawsuits that we can bring on them if they want to do that now, because it's as Dr. Cut says, it's not a game. But they are doing things like threatening tenants and telling them if they don't pay their April rent and their May rent, they're out. And that's not true. There's no evictions happening. Not now and not until after August, and they might not even be able to get in court until next year.
Exactly, I was about to say.
So, but I just don't want the anxiety of these small businesses to get to them to the point that they don't come back, because that's what's going to happen.
I have a quick question for you. Are they doing this verbally to the businesses, or they're doing it in writing?
They will never put it in writing.
Writing, yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, I had a client from Flatbush Avenue that was not going to open. They were going to file for bankruptcy. And I just told them to communicate with their landlord. Just have a conversation, just one. So until I get their attorney, just have the one communication. They called me today, and the landlord cut off their April, May, and June rent. They do not have to pay.
Wow.
Because he wants to keep them. If they never made that phone call, they would have never known. Yes. You have 2 things that's happening. You have landlords that don't know what to do, so they ignore and they're not going to communicate. And you have tenants that don't know what to do, and they don't have the money to pay the rent, so they don't want to communicate with the landlord until they figure it out. But they both need to talk to each other right now, whether good or bad. Yes. Know what the landlord is thinking or know what the tenant is thinking, but have that conversation. And then we can deal with the legal stuff from there. But we need to know what the landlord is going to do and what the tenant is going to do. If the landlord's going to keep ignoring, then we know what letters we have to send. you know, but to sit quiet and don't respond both sides. It's on both sides. It's not just one or the other.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so Khalid, you will make sure that we get those copies and
And I put the email in the chat box.
yeah, okay. Thank you so much. So Kim, since you just joined us, did you want to add to? No? You have anything for us? Okay.
No.
All right, so
Debbie,
yes.
Debbie, I just have another question. So we get that money for the for 2 months, but we're locked down for 4 months. So what happened to the other 2 months?
You want me to down and dirty? You only get one loan. You don't get more. If they put out another one, you don't get to reapply for another loan.
Yeah, but I'm saying
Unless they make changes. So that's what I'm saying. For those who don't want to use it for employees and want to use it for the loan, you have options, and you need to look at those options before you start spending it. Because if you're going to bring the employees back to do nothing, and then you still can't open your business, then why not hold the money and use it for your opening and pay it off 6 months from it, pay it on the end when money start coming back in. But right now you have nothing, and then if you use it and pay employees, you still have nothing.
Well, actually, we're doing e-learning. We are teaching every day.
Right.
We're in school, so our teachers are still employed and still working.
No, that's good. But you have some businesses that still can't open. They don't fall in line with the timeline. Yeah. And those are the ones that we might lose. Because when you have a $6,000 or $8,000 rent and you have that times 4, which is 32,000 if you want to hear the big numbers, at the end of the day, how do you pay back 32,000 and then you get let's say 25K from the PPP, and then you got to pay that back too. So now you're over $50,000-$60,000 of money that you can't pay back because you didn't make the money.
And I think that's a realistic assessment because business has been closed since, I believe, March. And now we're going into June, July.
Right.
If they get the loan now, maybe by the end of the month or maybe the beginning of next month, and it's for 2 months or whatever, they're still going to be in the hole regardless. Yeah. You know, they're not going to be able to bail themselves out. So in other words, looking at maybe another year or so before it can actually float, because you're looking at maybe barbershops or beauty salon or little restaurants or whatever. The inventory alone could be costly. When you include the rent and everything else, that's another cost. And to get the loan and then be able to kind of, stretch it, it's going to be a big task for that business owner. So a lot of business will say, just walk away from it.
I think that we need to have conversations. I had a webinar with the landlords, giving them what their options are and telling them, like, you might want to think about this before you start letting April, May, and June be something that you're putting down as I know that the landlords have to pay their mortgage. I know they have to pay their property managers and their property bills, but they need to lower those rents. Those rents are too high. They're not affordable. They wasn't affordable before COVID. Now it's 10 times worse.
Yes.
If they don't lower those rents and they just want to keep milking people, they're not going to get it because these people don't have it. How they say you can't scratch 2 coins together if there's nothing there.
Right. And not only that, if you walk down the avenue, you can tell.
Yeah. But we had vacancies before. Now we're going to have 10 times the vacancies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're holding them hostage on the original lease that they signed, and they're not willing to renegotiate it just in case. That's probably what it is. There needs to be some type of addendum attached to that lease that will give them some room to breathe. And I think that's what you're
no landlord on Flatbush Avenue, not the landlords in Flatbush. I know all of them. They're not going to do it. I have some that broke and gave in, but there's some that owns a lot of property on the avenue and they're not giving into nothing, and they're sitting back and thinking that the government is going to take care of it, and it's not. They have a rude awakening because they thought that PPP was going to pay all of the rent. And that's not what happened. So,
It's bad everywhere around. Either way you look at it, it's still a bad situation everywhere around.
mhm.
You know?
But Dale, I think that you said that you have a lot of pro bono lawyers.
Yeah.
My hope is that once these people, get this funding, that they would have a discussion with them based on whatever their current situation is, so that they know whether down the road what's going on. Because I mean, to take something that is not going to help you as you would hope for it to, then what's next? Because it that you're going to be struggling for a while to, who knows what our future holds,
You have 160 businesses on Flatbush Avenue between Parkside to Empire. You're going to be down to 100 shortly if we don't get the word to these people that there's help. And again, if I could fly over to Flatbush and walk the streets I would be out there all day, every day. Y'all, if anybody knows me, I'll be a door-to-door person all day, every day. But my health cannot afford it. I tried it and it's not working for me. I'm on the phone 12 hours a day with all my small businesses. I'm emailing, texting, doing whatever I have to do, cold calling. But I'm one person. I can't get to it.
So, can I ask a quick question? This goes on in regards to, we're talking about the rent and those small businesses. And I think this is one of the issues that maybe some landlords are reluctant into even getting an extension, because if you were a slow payer in your rent, right, and then you're going to use this as an excuse not to even pay more rent, why should they bend back for it?
Stories, yes.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure it's what they're saying. It's like, you haven't been on time paying your rent there all this time, so what makes you think that I can extend for you?
But I have to give blessings too. If you said this 6 months ago or a year ago, I would say yes. The businesses that are there right now and the businesses that have been fighting, not all of them, but there's not the majority no more. The businesses that are there now, they are trying to pay. They're doing whatever is necessary. The ones I'm getting a hold of, they want to pay. But it's unfortunate the ones that I can't reach. The ones that don't have, like those grocery stores on the corner, they serve us all day, every day. That's not lighting our eyes on the avenue if we don't understand that.
Right.
But I don't have a hand. They didn't get phone numbers and emails when we walked the block. Those are the last ones because they're always open and they always say we don't need no help. But now they need help.
Right. Okay.
And we have translators in every language. How about that?
Wow.
Well,
So what can we do to help as a community board member? What can we do?
I need people to go on foot and get as many of the ones that's open or get the message out. If y'all have an email system that has some of the businesses information, just send it out. Because when you send it out, you'll see traction will happen.
Right. Okay. Okay.
I am, promising to go out as much as I can and hand out some of those flyers. I don't know if
as long as you promise that you're masked up.
Oh, I always wear that. Always wear that, yeah. So I'm going to
I have to say thank you to Plegna because our Plegna friends, I have one lady that went out and took pictures of the stores that were open to let me know what stores were still open.
Okay.
And she, out of that day that she went out, she got me 2 businesses that actually picked up the phone and called me, and I were able to get them the PPP that day. I got them to do the applications and stuff. If she never went out, they would have not even thought about doing the PPP.
Wow.
So every little bit helps.
So can I ask another interesting question? So with the flyer that you're going to send out to us has information of your organization that's providing this service. Will it be even more better? I wouldn't say, but will it even better? The partnership with the Community Board 9 to be attached to that letter to give some more credibility and to the people that we can reach. I don't know if I'm stepping out of my realm here, but I don't know what the protocol is, Madam Chairperson.
I'm not allowed because again, this is a legal document that attorneys put. If you see, it's but they put this together, not me. So, but the email on this is my email address. Even though it looks different, it's my email address it comes to.
Okay.
I would still get to talk to them.
Yes.
The nice
Okay.
part about the program is they have to do an intake so that I can make sure where they are, so I can give the right information to the attorneys so they can get the right attorney. Whether it's a leasing attorney, a tax attorney, insurance attorney, we have every gamut of small business attorneys in our pocket right now.
Gotcha. Okay.
Even the
Okay, so
city
Yes.
couldn't-
Quick
even the city
question for
couldn't
you.
say they had. Yes, go ahead.
So are there any social media outreach campaigns going on right now? I'm in small business groups and all kinds of just entrepreneurial groups on Facebook specifically that I'd love to share this with. So if there that might be, maybe interactive with a click through to your email directly, I'd love a copy of that and I'll circulate that through my network as well. But I think that there's tons of groups of folks who are just getting together. Those groups serve as not only as a soundboard, but a place for resources. So I think this belongs in every last one of those groups throughout New York, the city basically, or this area, this neighborhood.
I totally agree. I've been on, they had the town hall, and I was one of the ones to go on the town hall with Diana Richardson and
Fantastic.
the senator. And I can tell you from that it's, and I think it's still on the senator's website, Myri, of the webinar that we did. And trust me, I have so many people still calling me because they saw the webinar from Flatbush Avenue folks and stuff. So again, the social media, I try my best, but I only have 2 arms. So if y'all can put it out on social media, I appreciate it. Just the same way Legner's doing it for us. I do handle the Parkside Empire's website. I should have had it on there, so I got to beat myself. I haven't gotten a moment. Because as you know, social media is not something you can, it's not a quick thing that you can do. So I'm trying to pick and choose. Do I take care of 30 clients or do I take care of a website? And I pick to choose the small clients. So if I can hand that off and say that y'all put it on all the social media stuff when I send it out to you, that will work a million.
Wonderful. Happy to do it.
Thank you.
And Greg, are you there? Greg? Did he leave? Because he has a website that he can actually,
Yeah, I didn't leave. Sorry about that. I didn't leave.
hi, Greg.
Yeah, what's up?
So,
What's up?
would you be able to add that information to your site?
Yeah, no problem. That's what I was asking initially. Yes, no problem as long as it's email because y'all were talking about making copies. That's why I was asking for the email. I was actually going to email. I was waiting to get a chance to, because I didn't hear her name, so I didn't know who to make it attention to. But if you guys send it out as an email, sure, I could get it up there. No problem.
If you send me an email right now, I'll send it to you. It's Dale, DALE, underscore Charles,
I can't hear you. Repeat that, please.
underscore Charles
Okay.
at IMPACCT, impact with 2 C's, BK.org, BK for Brooklyn.org.
Okay.
There you go.
ORG.
Thank you.
All right, cool.
Okay,
All right,
great.
cool. No problem.
Does anybody else have any other questions for Dale?
Or have y'all been seeing anything that I don't get to see on Flatbush, Nostrand, any of the avenues over there that, you think that needs to be addressed?
Okay, so in my walks, I will make note.
I'm going to be doing a roundtable for the forgiveness part of the PPP. I'm hoping to do it by this Thursday, but I think I need to do it like next Thursday to get more traction. But it's just so many, I might need to do it this Thursday and next Thursday because so many people don't understand the rules behind once they get the PPP.
Yeah, I got a question about that for you.
Yep.
It's a little different for businesses because I'm assuming they have employees for the forgiveness part. So when it's sole proprietorship, so if I'm talking to somebody who has a sole proprietorship, if they have one employee, which is themselves, or they hire freelance people, they're not employees. So if they count themselves, basically they're getting a forgiveness loan, or it doesn't apply like that.
It does apply like that, but what the government is going to look at is what they made last year and what they're paying themselves this year.
Okay, so
Say,
but
this time last year they were, I'm just gonna throw a number, last year they were making $10,000, but this year they're paying themselves 15,000. There's a problem.
oh, okay, I see what you're saying. But
They
pretty much,
also can't pay,
no. Finish what you were saying. I'm listening.
they also can't pay themselves more than that 15,385.
Mm.
8 weeks,
Okay, okay,
for the 8 weeks.
okay, cool. But pretty much, it's a forgiven loan because they're the individual they're putting it in for.
Right, but how are they showing themselves as a sole proprietor, or are they showing it on the taxes, 1040?
Okay, well, they would have to. I mean, I'm just like putting questions out there just in case, because
Right,
given
but they
the
have to have
information.
documentation. That's why I'm asking that question, because they have to have their
Okay, so
1040
what would the
or,
documentation be? Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Go ahead,
The 10
continue. Yeah, I'm looking.
And Khalid, the Excel spreadsheet of all the businesses,
Go ahead, Deb.
the Excel spreadsheet with all the businesses, there should be emails attached to that.
Let's see. I don't know if I have that access to that here on my laptop. I could try to get into the office and see.
So that might be another way to send the information out.
Yeah, I've sent it out that way. I'm sure you have the same emails I have, because we go door to door on the regular before COVID happened. So we have, who has an email, but the grocery stores and, places like that did not give emails address.
They usually, yeah, don't.
Chinese restaurants, we don't want all of them to leave. We really don't. They're part of Flatbush Avenue.
So seems like there's a lot of work to do now, and limited resources to get it done. But like I say, in my walks, I will try to reach far and wide because I love to walk. So I mean, I walked last week from Church in Utica all the way to Sterling and Nostrand.
Right.
So, and then I walked.
If you have that favorite business, the first thing you should ask them is, did they apply for the PPP?
Okay.
And if they say no, then you say, here, you need to call this
Right.
number.
Mm-hmm.
And give them my cell number opposed to my email, because if they call the cell, I'll get them done faster than if they send an email or decide to send an email. You know what I'm saying? If somebody puts my number, it's going to be on the paper.
It's on. Okay, I was just about to ask.
Yep. That's the only way you can really get in touch with me, between email and cell phone. There's no other way.
Okay.
And I respond. That's the difference.
Okay, great. Very nice. Any other questions for Dale?
Yeah, Deb, what is the turnaround from the time you process the paperwork for these merchants to receive any payments, any monies at all?
The longest I've seen is 2 to 3 weeks. That's the longest. The shortest I've seen is in a week. Depends on the business and depends on the paperwork. Because if they don't have a lot of paperwork, then it goes faster. But if they don't get their documents right the first round, and then they keep having to push paper, it takes longer. But I'm sending everyone to an organization. I don't know if you know the Business Outreach Center.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they know what they're doing, and they supply the loan. They're CDFI, so they get through much faster than most places.
Is that also on the flyer that you're sending to us?
No, that wouldn't be on that flyer, because I would have to make sure they qualify. I don't want to waste box time and get them people that's not qualified. I want to move the unqualified to where they need to be, and the qualified into Bach and into the lawyers.
Gotcha, makes sense. Okay.
Thanks.
Beautiful.
It'll just make it run smoother for everybody.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any additional questions? No?
Hey, Debbie. So I just located that Excel sheet for services. Let's see. I don't think I'm seeing I see a number, but I don't see an email. But at least there's a number on this Excel sheet here. So I'll share that with the EDC committee shortly.
Okay. So while you're focusing on that, Khalid, I know that our last meeting, Robert, Tiffany, I don't think you were there. Reverend Hamilton was there. Robert, I think you were not. You were excused. Something was going on.
Yeah, I missed
We
that
had
meeting.
discussion on the bag that we wanted to CB9 shop local bag that we would discuss it.
I remember.
Okay, so
Yeah, I know you were talking about a bag.
I know, yeah, and Greg, and you were
Yes.
talking about it, and you were supposed to be a part of, doing the coordination for, I mean, the detail for the bag,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, I was gonna work something out, but I wasn't sure what was going on with that. Not sure how that was working.
Well, I mean, it's still on. However, I was going to, talk about the second part of that, which is in terms of rolling the bag out. My thought was to see whether we can partner with Grow NYC and do something in the community.
Did y'all get any masks to give out in the community?
I didn't get any. I don't know.
So
Trying to
I
get asked for essential workers. I haven't been able to do so, but I think that Khalid, you got something last week. I don't know from whom.
yeah. So health and social services, well, not necessarily health and social services, but CB9 with the 71st precinct and Little Caribbean, we acquired some face masks. I can't give you the number. It was a good amount, and we went down the Nostrand Avenue stretch from Eastern Park, within our district lines, Eastern Parkway to Clarkson. We distributed face mat, at least one box to businesses that would accept them, not hardware stores or not pharmacies or any other business that might sell masks. And we gave out individual single-use masks to people on the streets that asked. So we did this down Nostrand Avenue, and we went up Kingston Avenue from Empire to Eastern Parkway, and we went down Utica Avenue from Eastern Parkway down to, I would say, about Midwood Street, to the right, maybe to Walgreens now, I think. So that's what we've done so far.
You're missing one.
Where you're
You're
talking about?
missing one, Flatbush Avenue, Parkside and Empire.
Right. No, I mean, I'm not saying that's being. I think that they. This is what's happened last week. This is not everything. This is.
No, but I'm speaking for them because there's nobody to speak for them. So I'm just saying, don't leave them out of the chain. Because
I think that they are maybe have made plans to go up Flatbush probably today. I don't, but I'm not aware of the details, and I think that they're still trying to come up with the logistics. But I believe Flatbush is along in the game plan. So I'm on standby for that.
just keep us in your thoughts because Flatbush is in a circle of friends.
Yeah, no worries. I'll let them know.
All right, so
I'll forward the message to Francisca.
okay, great. So the masks, they're at the office for distribution.
So there are no more masks left as of Thursday. Sorry, we did the last distribution we did was on Thursday. and there were no more masks left. In terms of who's able to acquire them directly, I don't have those details specifically. I believe that it was from uh, an individual in Little Caribbean, but I have not had the chance to meet them directly because it was Francesca was coordinating this effort between Little Caribbean and the 71st Precinct Community Affairs. So we could definitely ask Francesca for a little bit more information about, who she coordinated with and how they were able to receive the mask for the effort.
So maybe we can get some masks from the mayor's office or from Eric, because I'm sure that they have.
Right, right. I think that there might have been some forms in terms of, requesting, like forms to fill in terms of requesting materials as such. So I can definitely look through our resources.
So we can, see if we can get some for, the Flatbush area. Okay. So back to, okay, so the second part of the project was to see whether we could coordinate something with Grow NYC, which is the farmers market, to come into this area over here, the Crown Heights area, and do something. And that's when we would roll out the bags and maybe, we can, pack the bags and, people can, for a small purchase. I know sometimes the farmers market would do like something where you buy food, you spend like $15. You get like fruits and greens and whatever is available in terms of whatever is harvesting now.
Mhm.
And you pack the bags and, people would come and, make a purchase or whatever.
See, I'm not sure.
That was my
What you
thought.
saying?
I'm sorry?
No, I was adding to what you were saying real quick. They sent out like an email, I think a week or two ago about a grant to do something for the community with food because of the epidemic that's going on. So that would have been cool. I don't know who got the grant. If you had a non-for-profit, I didn't get to apply, but if you had one, that would have been cool because maybe we could have did something with maybe one of the organizations who got it and did the bags, and they could have put food inside the bags and gave it to the people. So they got the bags and the food, kind of like something like that.
Who was running that project?
I forgot what office was given the grant. I gotta check my email. Khalid sent it, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think I might have gotten something about that. But you had
Yeah,
to submit it back, but you had to be a 501c, I think.
Yeah, you did, and you had to submit it by the 11th. But I was just saying, I'm not sure if any. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I think it was something that came through quickly. You had to submit it maybe like in 2 days or something.
Well, it was like a couple of days, but I was just saying I'm not sure if anybody did. So just in case, because it would have been cool if we could have did the bags and then gave the food out because it would have all worked out together or something like that. But
well, my thought was to request some of the resources from the community board.
All right.
To make the purchase.
Okay.
But I know that the fiscal year is ending soon, end of June. So, that's something that have to be done. Maybe in the fall, we can probably do something and, set up, the food across the street and see how that goes. But it requires some more planning but I was just thinking about that, while I'm at home and, have some time to think about a lot of things. So I don't know if anybody else have anything to add to that, you know. Be good to know. Is everybody there or
Yep.
so does anyone have anything to add to that?
Debbie, I think that
Mm-hmm.
I think that the new norm,
Mm-hmm.
because things will never be the same,
Oh, I know that.
that the new norm
Mm-hmm.
is the age of uncertainty, and we are not even sure what a reopening of New York City is going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just thinking while you were speaking, trying to imagine what this could be like.
Mm-hmm.
What would it be? What are the limitations, that we would have to face,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what the strategy is. Not that we shouldn't strategize, but it's always that hold back. Like I heard the young lady giving all this wonderful information about small businesses, and I was just thinking about daycare. Because schools don't seem to fit in the small business arena. I'm not sure, but daycares, women who are out there with 3 or 4 workers, that is a daycare center, and the daycare is open because those on the front line need daycare for their children in order to go to the front line.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure whether or not they will be entitled to get the money, not just for 2 months, but from March until June. What happens to those people?
Nobody's allowed to get the money more than the 2 months, but they are allowed. They're considered a small business the same way.
Yeah. So I'm going to reach out to because I'm a school, the babysitters, the daycares that do this. But I'm not saying that we're doing the wrong thing. I'm just saying that's an oversight on the government to not realize that these people still have to pay. The employees to be there to take care of every school that I know is online doing something. Teachers are still working. So 2 months doesn't mean anything.
I agree.
2 months does not really mean anything. I think that's a blind side. A blind side. They're blindsided. Because if you send a teacher to the unemployment line, then you don't have the e-learning, and then our children are going to suffer again because they're going to be behind. Look at how many students they realize didn't have Wi-Fi in their community. They can't access what the government is talking about. They can go to school. How these children can't go to school?
But they already,
It's such a sad time.
It is.
but there's
That,
already word out there that they're behind already.
I know we're all doing our best. We're trying to cope
Mm-hmm.
and to
We
just
gotta
understand.
go back to old school. We have to organize.
Yes.
We can't sit quiet. We always sit quiet, or we're on the phone, or we're on the tech. But we have to organize as people. Go back to old school
I
to
agree.
what that used to work.
And that is true
I
because we have elections coming up,
agree.
we have the census, all of those things play a big role in how we get resources. So if we don't push for these things,
You're not gonna get it.
Brooklyn, the count is very low. So we need to, we need to get out now and we need to push now.
When those elected official has those Facebook forums and those live forums, people need to be on those forums. People need to be putting out their messages of what needs to be. Because otherwise they're gonna do what they do. I can only say but so much, but at the end of the day, we have a voice and we need to use that voice.
Yes, I agree.
I think that you have provided a magnificent amount of information for the community, and it's sad that a lot of members in the community are unaware, or even Debbie taking that long walk to ensure that we got our ears to the ground and we're getting something done. But you know, it's coronavirus and people are in lockdown and they're afraid.
Yes.
They're even afraid to come out for them. I think Debbie is making a colossal sacrifice to make that walk.
Yeah.
But I walked the other day and there was no one on the streets. It was like desolate. On Friday, I walked out and I saw people on Nostrand Avenue. That was the first time. That was the first time. It's really a really bad situation, and it gets worse because now it's mental. People are mentally being affected because of what they can't do. What they would like to do, but they really can't do it because they're quarantined. They're locked down. But I think that what you're saying today, Debbie, and our guest is a tremendous amount of effort and a lot of work that is being done, and yet a very, very sad time for people in businesses who really don't even know. And maybe the fear of, I can't get it, they're not going to give it to me kind of syndrome,
And it is that syndrome, and it's heavy on that side. It's so heavy on that side. Like I said, I wish I had 10 feet that I could walk door to door and touch every one of them, because if you'll hear what I hear on a daily just between emails and phone calls, you'll be so shocked. So shocked. The littlest things they won't apply for.
Wow.
They feel but they're paying taxes. They're paying, their fees. And I'm like, as long as you have employees, throw the plate on the wall and see what sticks.
Exactly.
That's what my scenario is. If nothing comes back, you didn't have anything anyway. You're sitting home anyway doing nothing. So do something for yourself and lift yourself up. Not put your head down and say, why me? Do something and raise yourself. It's not easy, but raise yourself. If we don't fight for each other, we're not going to fight at all.
As our president would say, what do you have to lose?
Not a thing.
I'll tell you what I did last week. I wanted to experience this. The food bank was giving out food at Barclays Center. And I went there because I wanted to see what was going on. I want to experience what was going on.
Right.
And I wouldn't lie to you, the line that I saw, where you enter to go into the Barclays Center, and it came around where they have the hotel and the apartment buildings, and it went all the way down Dean Street.
Yep.
And I got there, let's say around 10:30, and the line was doubled already. And by the time they started at 12, and by the time I left there, it was like about 4:30, and the line was still going down the street.
That says a lot.
What I observed was, by the time I got there to get some food, the food was just dwindling. So when I walked back to see how much further the line was, it was just as if I was still standing on that same line. It was like as many people.
Right.
And some of the things that I observed, going on while I was standing on line to get to the point to get the food, people were doing some wrong things.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even want to speak to it.
I know.
Because knowing that so many people are online and you're hoarding food, it was hurting my heart. And I just wanted to experience it, but I would never go back there unless I was doing it for a senior or somebody that really had a need to experience that. There were seniors with cane and walkers, and I couldn't understand why they weren't on a separate line.
Always do that. Always.
There were people that brought their whole family, and they had each and every one of them asking for food.
I believe it.
What about the people that's waiting online coming down? And when I was leaving from there, I realized that they wouldn't have food to give to all those people.
Mm-hmm.
I told the woman when I got to the table, I said, look, I don't need this. Just give me some vegetables and I'm okay. But there were people that were hoarding 2 and 3 of each. And I'm like, no, this is not, it's not acceptable. There's more people to get food.
And just imagine how many people didn't get unemployment. How many people that don't have a job and
Yeah.
right now they really need food?
It was, yeah. And counting, I would say it was more than 3,000 people on that line.
Wow.
So you can imagine the line for unemployment. You can't get on the computer, and the lines are forever long.
Yeah.
You're damned if you don't, and you're damned if you do.
Yeah.
It's just a really hard time, and we can't give up. We understand that,
Mhm.
but it's the reality.
It is.
The reality. If people are still waiting for their unemployment check, and people are still waiting for $1,200 to go into their account.
Hmm.
And that's $1,200 that's already spent.
Ah, how long ago?
Of course. Yes. Yes. Yes.
They still need $1,200 to probably catch up or more.
And,
Yeah,
and,
but you know, it's
and
just like you said about the line. People are taking the $1,200 instead of taking care of what they need to take care of. They're buying video games, and these young. I'm just saying, I have one, and I'm like, why would you buy yourself a PlayStation? Why not put the money in the bank if you have money to pay your
Exactly.
bank? Yeah, so people are not spending they didn't plan this out. They just dumped the money in people's banks. They were giving dead people the money. But you can't find money to help with small business. But you're giving dead people that died, but they still have an estate. Money's going to the state, but then they're no longer living. This guy said that his son needed money, but his dead father got money and he didn't.
Oh boy. Wow.
that's true.
Mhm.
A lot of people were complaining about that it was in the account for people who were dead.
Yep.
It was crazy.
They didn't plan that out, but they planned out the small business money to see how they can gouge the big corporation. Why would they even label a 500 employee company as a small business?
But the governor said something which made a lot of sense. If you're not gonna keep those employees, because he remembered when he was
Oh my God.
yeah, when he was dealing with those Wall Streeters from the last
Mhm.
episode, and he realized that a lot of them were taking their money and giving the workers bonuses and going on retreats and things like that. He told them that you cannot take the money and not keep your employees.
But that's why they put the cap. That's why that cap of 15,000. That's why the cap.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But why did they let so much money, 300 and something billions of dollars, go out and get into those hands already? And now you can't get it back.
Well,
That makes no sense.
Well, that was the plan.
that
I
was
know.
there you go.
I know.
That was the plan.
That was the plan.
That was the plan.
And now they have now on the second round, nobody wants to apply because they feel what happened the first time, they're just playing.
It's gonna happen again.
Right. But now they're seeing everybody's getting money now.
Yes, you're so true. And you know, as you were asking the question, I was thinking that if you're a billionaire, 500 employees, you know, is a small number. So that's a small business.
Yep. Yep.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Before I forget, we're not doing the street festival this year.
All right.
Guess y'all already knew that, right?
Yeah.
There's no way I can put it together now. So we don't have the fundraiser, we don't have the street festival. The Merchants Association is still okay. Because I didn't spend their money.
Okay, so you still have resources for them.
Mhm.
No, thank God.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. But it's true.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell your story, Debbie. I'm going to tell your story because someone else needs to hear that. 3,000 people on the line. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
crazy.
it's reality.
It is.
That's
Definitely.
our new reality because if we don't come together as people, Our reality is going to dwindle, it's going to change, and it's going to change to something back to what it used to be that we don't want. We're better and we're smarter, we know more now. We have so much more in our favor. But to sit back and let it go back to what it was, can't happen. Cannot happen. You don't want to see bad streets. You do not want to see streets with no storefronts on it because vandalism is already happening. We do know this. I know you'll have stories on how the storefronts are being robbed because they're closed and nobody's around.
Well, I mean, it just walking out there is just scary to see, the stores shut down and
That's why we need to walk out there more often, even if we have to walk 6 degrees of separation, but we still need to walk out there to let them know people are around. Because if we act like we're staying in the house and we're not around, they're gonna do what they do.
and I think
And there's got to be a silver lining somewhere.
It has to be.
there is. I
Got to be.
Yeah, I think it's so important to support the businesses that's open.
That's right.
If it's a block that has like a group chat. I know my block, we have a group chat, and one person puts information about everything that's going on, whether it's about the number of people that died, what's going on in the community, what we got from Eric Adams, what we got from Rodney's shot, flyers and stuff like that. So we, keep in contact that way. And then we have a cleanup crew. I mean, I'm a part of that as well. Every week, 3 people clean the block.
Oh, nice.
So we go out and we pick up the papers. Last week before it was my turn. So I went out and I sweeped up because of course we didn't have the sweepers. So there was bottles, there was paper, there was a whole bunch of garbage all over. So, bagged it up and put it out for, the garbage truck. So
Maybe just make sure that you're covering up yourself really well.
You're scaring me so badly.
Cover up yourself well. I was just thinking that if we took the block from Eastern Parkway to Empire Boulevard just to find out if those merchants have filled out any paperwork, even if we did that, I think that would be a great help, because this is where our office is, right here on Nostrand Avenue.
Right.
So the guy next door, does he know? Does the restaurant know that she can do this? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they know. But if we covered this just from here to there, at least we can say.
Which restaurant you said?
V's restaurant is not far from.
I know V's, yeah.
Yeah, you have V. You have Tony's just reopened.
Right.
I'm thinking he might know. The guy around the corner on Union Street, he stayed open, but I'm not sure he knows what he can get. I know that the Chinese restaurant closed. She closed right after they start, doing terrible things to the Asian people. She just closed her store. So I don't know what's going. The fish market, they stayed open. They're still there. There's so many little businesses right in our community right now that they never closed the door. They just kept it open. I'm not sure that they have the wealth of information that was just given to us. And they're right there on the block.
Okay, so what I can do, I can collect the stuff from the flyers from Khalid and, just do a walk down to probably
right
as far as I can go.
You got it, Khalid, right?
Yeah.
Khalid, you got the flyer?
Yes, I did receive we received that flyer previously, and I've been sharing that in our weekly blast.
That was me, because I think I sent it to you via email before.
Right. So yeah, so I do know this flyer. So yeah, we've had that, and we've been cycling that. I think this might be the second or third week we have that in our cycle now. So
keep recycling, keep sending it out.
No worries, definitely.
But just highlight the one I highlighted, because I think on the other ones that wasn't highlighted. I'm for the Brooklyn ones. The other organizations are for like Manhattan and the Bronx and things. So I just want to make sure we keep Brooklyn together.
Okay, all right, I'll update it.
Yeah, Khalid, we have a lot of the hairdressers and the barbershop. We just lost one of our barbers. As a matter of fact, 2 weeks after we closed down, he died from corona. It's just so sad. We'll never see him again right there in the corner, not far from Union Street. But across the street, you have quite a few of them also. You know, the barbershops. And I'm not sure the beauty parlors. I'm not sure that they know, or the nail place. So we need to contact them and let them know that they can apply for this money.
The problem is whether we have their, other than leaving a flyer there, I mean, because they probably don't come there.
And they probably won't
They're
read the
open.
flyer. I'm gonna tell you the truth. They won't read the flyer.
No, they're open.
No,
Debbie, they're
somebody has to
open.
have a conversation when they give that flyer, because when you give that flyer, they're not reading it. They don't understand it's
Right.
the PPP process. They think it just says legal, and it's more than legal. It's for the PPP process also. Now, that's the first thing when I get on the phone with people. That's the first thing I ask them: did you apply for the PPP? And they go, well, who are you and what organization you for and what you do? That's where I get to open them up and just make them understand. The flyer is one thing, but the PPP is so much bigger than that flyer.
So, Khalil, you're going to send the flyer out to everyone, right?
He's been sending it out for the last 2-3 weeks.
Okay.
So when you're able to get those copies made, you can let me know. Please. I know that you have to go to the office to do so. So it's all dependent on when you're able to do that. I can't even hear you. See your mouth moving, but Khalid? Yeah.
Sorry. I was saying that if you'd like to schedule a time, either tomorrow or any other day that you're comfortable, I can have the copies prepared for you.
Okay, so what you can do, you can always reach me once you have them ready, and I can just come by and pick it up.
Okay. No worries, definitely. So how long would you need to get to the office, or how long would it take you to get to the office? 10-minute walk? How long does it take for you to get to the office, Debbie?
What, less than 10 minutes?
Okay, all right then. So then I'll let you know, like I'll reach out to you like half an hour before and let you know.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
And then that would start my walk, because once I get them, I can just
Yes.
start giving them out.
Be very careful though, right?
Yes. I always have my mask on, and I always have my hand sanitizer with me. So.
And cover your face.
Oh yeah, I have my mask on.
Yeah, cover that face and your head.
My face, my head, my nose, my mouth. Yeah.
But I just found out today, not your hands.
Huh?
I just found out today. What is it called? Doctors Without Borders. Is that what it's called?
Uh-huh.
They had a call with us today, and they were telling us certain things that to do and don't do. And they're saying covering your hand is not necessary with gloves.
Right. That's what
you're redistributing
exactly
on yourself. So
the gloves.
sanitizer is all they need.
Sanitizers, or I walk with wipes.
Yeah.
So, wow, we did a lot of talking and a lot of discussing at this meeting. We do have a lot of work to do. Hopefully we will come out of this better. And I hope to see all of the small businesses back up and running. Hopefully they will apply for this funding that, we so much need. And because, I can't see people running to beaches and Costco like they normally would. I mean, in this time.
They are, because I'm right around the corner from one, and they packed all the time. It's sad.
Wow.
It's sad. Food comes before anything.
Can you do?
I didn't hear you.
I said, but for how much longer can they do that, you know?
Exactly.
How much food so can you buy? I mean, you know.
I went food shopping from when I first came in. I haven't been food shopping since.
Wow. I just buy little things like fruits and stuff just to, you know, add, but
Mhm.
how much rice you gonna buy? How much flour you gonna buy, you know? But I guess, you know, I can only speak.
I'm gonna have to jump off, so I just wanted to say thank you for having me,
Thank you, and we definitely be in touch. Thank you for your time.
and blessings to all of y'all, and please stay safe and mask up, keep your mask going.
Yes.
Thank you for any help that you can give.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So Khalid, I'm not sure how long this process is. Is it?
Are you talking about this meeting, Debbie?
Yes.
You just adjourn it whenever you're ready.
Okay, so I'll just check in with people and see whether they have anything further to add to what was already said. I know that is Tiffany there? Tiffany left?
I'm right here.
Okay, so I know that you said that you were gonna be sending out the flyer to some of your contacts.
As soon as I get it, Women Founders Group, Black Entrepreneurs
Okay,
groups I'm a part of. Yeah. I just need an electronic copy, but I know, Khaled, you've been circulating something already. So if that flips over to me, I can easily just keep the train rolling. And I'll also put a post up on LinkedIn, just some contacts that I have there as well. I feel like, especially this group in particular, I don't see us with a huge presence on LinkedIn. So it's definitely that's my first site before I think about Facebook.
yeah,
From certain perspectives. So I'm happy to put it there and a few groups that I have there as well. Some of the in groups. If there are some people who are familiar with Slack, I'm not sure how many folks are on the call who have Slack accounts. Really great entre channels that people could just use information. So happy to post that around for my channels, but again, Slack is pretty personal, dependent on what your interests are and where you decide to subscribe. So as much as we can get that out there on that platform for anyone on the call who is on Slack, that's another great place to place this information.
Okay, great. Thank you. Robert, do you have anything to add?
No, I'm good. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Kim? Anything to add, Kim?
No, I'm just, everyone, you guys are doing a great job, and just be safe. Right now, I've just been taking a lot of information, and
Okay, great.
you know.
So Khalid can more than likely send that information over to you as well.
I've sent it already, so whenever the email
Yeah, he did
delivers,
send it out.
you'll get it.
Okay,
Yeah, I got it. He sent it
Hamilton,
out.
are you there? Reverend Hamilton,
Yes, I'm here.
anything you want to add before we conclude?
No, Debbie, I just want to thank you for your tremendous care about our community and just your compassion, to share and make sure that others are aware of what is happening. I just want to thank you and all the other members that, are involved in trying to help our community to cope.
Yes,
It's hard.
very important.
It's hard. It's hard. I have people that are still waiting for the bodies of their
Okay.
loved one that died.
Mm.
It's a lot more than meets the eye, and if you're not directly involved in all aspects of this corona, madness that is happening, you don't know.
You don't know.
You really don't know. You really don't know. Yeah, we have lost so many people, and it's like 3 to 4 weeks before you can even have a cremation.
Oh boy.
I had a
Wow.
cousin that died that went to the Potter's Field
Oh my
without
God.
our permission. What do you do with something like that? And
Wow.
she died right here at Brooklyn Hospital. And by the time we know that she was died, you know, she was tagged and taken. We didn't even have a funeral.
Oh my
It's,
God.
oh, I'm telling you, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised to know what is going on.
I'm not
You'll be
surprised at all
surprised.
because look at the funeral director that had those bodies
In a truck.
in a truck. I mean, how very devastating. Think about it.
It's devastating.
Very much.
So then we have people like you
Mm.
and others that are trying to help other people to understand. And a lot of things for our community, a lot of problem is fear. You
Yeah.
know, people have been burned so many times.
Mhm.
You know, they feel like they're lost. They couldn't afford to pay the rent in the beginning. And now they can't afford to pay the rent.
Well, you know what?
Serious.
Hopefully, this would open their eyes and know that
Yes.
they're hurting even more so now because they couldn't afford it before and they were trying to keep, paying it. But now, it's a manifestation that they cannot afford it. And hopefully, the powers that be would look at that and try to fix the problem because it is a problem.
And a major one.
It is. It's a huge one.
A major one. A major one. The first set of money that they put out,
Hmm.
a lot of the nursing homes applied for that money. But a
Yeah.
lot of the people in the nursing homes were dying.
Right.
And no one no one was paying attention to that. And not that they're being negligent, because they didn't know, it's because this thing hit us so hard and so fast.
Yes.
You once you got knocked down, you were just trying to find your way to get back up
Hmm.
so that you can even breathe.
Hmm.
Oh my God. Debbie, I don't know how you do it, Debbie, but God bless you. God bless you.
Thank
God
you.
bless you.
Thank you. That's
If
how I
we have
feel.
to bury one more body, if I hear about another person that is dead or positive, I think it's going to drive me crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It is just absolute madness. And you feel like there is nothing you can do. Although we know if we do nothing, nothing changes.
Nothing. Yes.
So you have to get over that feeling and start moving.
But the
Start
sad
moving.
thing about this is, they know where the poor people are. They know
Of
the
course they do.
resources that they have in those communities. They know that the way this thing rolled out, they won't be able to get that, protection until they deem that they're going to get it to them, which is now. So they knew who was going to be gravely affected.
And
It's
they
just
thought the
various,
children weren't.
huh?
They thought the children were not going to be affected. And I've been saying it for a long time. Yes, the children will be affected. Now we're
Absolutely.
seeing that.
Absolutely.
We don't even know what school's going to look like.
Well, they're talking about
It's a
10
new world.
students in a classroom.
Yeah, it's a new world.
It is. It really is. It's a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things to reflect on, a lot of, you know, just a lot of work. Just a lot of work. But
Hold on.
so, if no one else have any questions or any more input, I'm going to move to adjourn the meeting. And hopefully we'll come back with better news next meeting.
And please stay safe.
Thank
Let
you.
us all
You
stay
too.
safe.
Everyone,
Let us all stay safe.
everyone, be safe, be well, and thank you for joining the meeting tonight.
Thank you, Debbie.
And thank you.
Thank you, Khalid.
Thank you.
Thank you all for attending.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Have a good night.
Thank you for all
Everybody
you
have a
do.
good night.
All right.
Okay.
You too.
Thank you.
God bless you
Everybody
all.
have a good night. Take care.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.